Ooh, I like that question. That is a nice question. So I feel like I've touched on this a little bit, but I haven't really dived in. So let's talk about this. What are the strengths that you should bring to the table for a bootblack contest? Now, as with any title contest, the focus is going to differ a little bit from contest to contest. For example, the contest that I just judged last weekend was a bar title with the focus on building community. So the producers sort of encouraged the judges to base whatever scoring we decided was appropriate, but their hope was to find someone who would help nurture a sense of community within and around the bar and within the local community. So that meant that a lot of the questions that we asked during interview, a lot of the focus of what we were, looking for typically had that viewpoint. Now, to go a little bit deeper, there were essentially three things that we were judging on. We had the stand time. So over the course of the weekend, the contestants had, I believe it was 5 hours of stand time where they worked with people at their bootblack stand, and we got to see how they interacted. We got to see how they discussed with their clients. We spoke with some of the clients after the fact and talked to them about the experience, that kind of thing, kind of seeing how they behave between clients. Are they engaging, that kind of stuff, right? The other thing that we were scoring on was the interview. And the interview was, we had 15 minutes, which is long for some of these contests, with each contestant to just ask them questions, right? It was an interview. So, for example, the question that I went to every time was, if you knew ahead of time when and where your last bootblacking session ever would be, what would you do to make it meaningful and memorable for both you and the person sitting in the chair? Because my focus with regards to bootblacking tends to be about connection and being very intentional with how you bootblack and that kind of stuff. So I wanted to see that. And the third portion was the speech. Now, they had 2 minutes to give a speech, which, again, that is a little bit long. Most places will do about 90 seconds. So as far as what strengths to look for in a bootblack contest, again, it really depends on the contest. In some cases, the contest is more about are you actually a player within a leather space? And how do you tie bootblacking in with that? The community bootblack title track used to, I don't think it's around at the moment. It might be coming back from what I've heard. But that one was very focused on do you actually play, right? Some contests are significantly more focused on the technical. Do you know your products? Do you know when it's best to use which product? They will typically have what's referred to as a technical boot or a tech challenge boot, where you are given a messed up boot and you have half an hour to an hour to make it look as good as possible. And then a lot of the time it's a blind judging process, so you don't know who did which boot, that kind of stuff. So there's a variety of different types of bootblack contests out there, right? And each with kind of a different focus. But a lot of the time, these leather titles, whether we're talking about bootblacks or not, they want to make sure that you are a good representative for your local community in some way. And everything should, in my opinion, stem from that. The execution may change, but at the core, that is what I feel most titles should be looking for. I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any other follow-up questions.